despite the court storm or non-court storm, an amazing way to end that season for Marquette. Like
for a horrible season,
for a down year with a good coach that everybody believes in, and a program that's going to get it right and figure it out.
Greg, to your point, everyone talks about in college sports, like, by the bowl season, players aren't interested. Oh, the basketball team Marquette has nothing to play for by the end of the year. That shows coaching. That shows culture. We've heard Shaka talk deeply about culture. That, to me, that's a coach who, like, you give a real vote of confidence. Like, you extend a coach like that who can keep a team together in that way. And Shaka's so smart. He's going to figure out the way to build a roster. That was the kind of game where, like, all right, he has the clearly less talented team. Sure, UConn didn't shoot the ball well, but they found a way to win against a team of, like, legitimately, like, players that are at another level. And
top 5 team in the country.
And Shaka will figure out how to make the roster more competitive over the next few years.
100%. To your point, he is actually, unlike a lot of coaches, building something. Like, it's not like it's, hey, every year we're going to recycle, reset. He is focused on building something with that team that he has, and I think that'll be a good springboard for him.
But I think at the same time, he's probably realized that that equation isn't going to completely work. Right, like he's going to have to adapt the equation a little bit, right? Like
I would think so.
Yeah. And maybe that's a transfer or 2 or whatever. But again,
or 2 on that team, they need a transfer or 7.
Yeah,
6, 7.
Yeah. Can we commit to something? I know you guys probably won't.
Oh boy.
Can we commit to not talking about the Packer trade except when Wildy's here?
Sure.
What?
Sure.
No.
Why?
I don't know. Like, who's heard of? Like, I didn't even. When I saw the trade, I was like, "Wait, which guy went to the Packers and which guys went away from the Packers?"
That's just egregious.
I mean, he led the league in tackles 2 years ago.
I know.
Now you just brought this to the doorstep.
Well, because I have a Packers thing that I want to ask. I want to ask Kyle and Strophy because they're like legitimate diehard Packer fans. I can't call you, Greg, a diehard Packers fan.
He's
I would agree.
not a Packers fan.
Right.
He
Why are you angry?
Because Craig got me mad. He got me hot when he sent us that text message about Caleb and Jordan Love.
Yep, that's what I want to ask you.
He didn't even tell us what the question is.
But I already knew it was going to be swayed towards Caleb. And then also, Craig just uses the Green Bay Packers to enrich himself.
Me?
Yeah, you.
How so?
You come here to our state, bash our Packers, make buku buckets of money, making fun of our Packers.
I don't think you understand my relationship with the Packers.
He does make buku buckets of money, though. I know that for sure. I don't think he does it necessarily bashing the Packers.
To do with the Packers.
Yeah, I don't think it has to do with the Packers, but that is true, man. I have ADP access, and that is accurate, just for the record.
If you don't want people coming into your state, Kyle, and enriching the economy here and putting more money back into the economy, then that's fine. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, he goes to bars, and he definitely enriches the economy.
Potawatomi Hotel Casino last night was enriched by me and Ben Bruss.
How'd you do?
I was literally with someone, and they were like, yeah, I was at a bar, and I was going home, and I literally just heard Scalzo's voice in the back of my head, and I turned, and it was him, and I went and had a bunch of more drinks. That was literally something I heard from someone last night. So this is for Strophy and Kyle. Right now, for this season, forget contracts, forget rookie contracts and all that, you could have one quarterback, Jordan Love or Caleb Williams.
Jordan Love.
Who do you want for this season?
Jordan Love.
Jordan Love.
And Kyle, that was my point. My point was I was in Chicago this week, and 100 out of 100 Bears fans will say Caleb Williams to that question.
Of course they will.
I believe right now somewhere in the 65 to 75% of Packers fans would say Jordan Love, maybe higher. What do you guys think the answer would be on that? Higher?
I think it's higher, yeah.
Yeah, most would say Jordan Love.
Has that ever existed in our lifetime?
No.
Where like that's like what fandom is supposed to be, and it's so cool that like, and this isn't like, oh, I'm not being like, you guys don't think you're being subjective. You guys think you're being truly objective. And by the way, I think I'm the outlier of this. I am a Bears fan in this argument, and I actually think I would go Jordan Love, and that's what I told some of the people in Chicago. But like 100 out of 100 people in Chicago believe Caleb Williams far and away this year will be a better quarterback than Jordan Love, and they wouldn't even consider Jordan Love. And most Packer fans are like, Caleb Williams is inaccurate, blah, blah, blah. Sure, he ended up winning. He had some lucky plays at the end, but and Strophy's probably complaining about his nails or something dumb like that. But ultimately, that's like such a unique, awesome rivalry situation where each team wants their dude and is convinced that their dude is the dude. And I'm just wondering if that is true. Like, do you think right now, coming off of the way, clearly Caleb showed his clutch gene and the way Jordan hasn't won 2 playoff games, in a row, do you think for this season, Packers fans truly would want Jordan over Caleb?
Yes, I do think that. And I'd also like to point out Caleb Williams also hasn't won 2 playoff games in a row.
800-99. Well, he's had, a little less time starting and a little less opportunity in the postseason.
One less year.
800-990-3776. It is the carbless, handcrafted premium cocktails talking text line. 800-990-3776. I want to know, Packers fans, I guess Bears fans, you just have to clearly describe if you're a Packers fan and if you're a Bears fan, and which quarterback do you want. Drop it in the chat if you're on the YouTube, on ESPN Milwaukee or ESPN Madison. We'll get the poll up there on the YouTube also so we could see it. It's like when we did the Packers fans, do you want to keep LaFleur? Bears fan, like each one. But I mean, Greg, what do you think it is? You're around all the time. And who do you think who would you want for this year?
I think your point is well taken. I do think that the Packer fan who doesn't like Jordan Love also doesn't like Caleb Williams. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that there's people who are willing to trade that out. For this season, contract notwithstanding, I would take Jordan Love, like, every day of the week. I think he's better there. I think long-term.
But do you understand in Chicago how outrageous of a statement that would be for you to make? Like, when I was in Chicago, it isn't even a comparison. But they're like, do you understand Ben Johnson? He's only had 1 year. Caleb has had 1 year with Ben Johnson, and do you see how much he's improved in that 1 year? Do you realize how good he's going to be next year? Like, that is what I heard in Chicago.
But like you've got like a 29 or a 35-year-old or whoever who's like got their first girlfriend ever, and like that now all of a sudden makes them the greatest girlfriend in the whole world. Like, Bears fans have never had a quarterback they've been truly excited about. So, of course, they're going to be like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. It's like
they also haven't had a coach they've been excited. So to have both at the same time.
Well, they were excited about Justin Fields. If you asked them this question 2 years ago, Jordan
it was never to this level.
No, it wasn't to this level.
Well, maybe, Kyle, you're right. Maybe the initial excitement, it was just never validated the way this past season validated that excitement.
They were excited about Trubisky at one point, too, because he threw a 5-touchdown game.
During the during the first year starting for Jordan Love and Justin Fields when he was a quarterback, Bears fans still, after Jordan Love went ham on the Bears week 1, they still would take Justin Fields. They were still talking about Justin Fields as a quarterback of the future late in that season before they decided to move on from him. So Bears fans, again, just like any fan, we're going to be fanatics for our team. But one thing Bears fans have to recognize is Jason Wilde always tells me, growth isn't linear. And so just because you had a great season this year, and we Packers fans know because we're still trying to get another playoff win after the Packers beat the brakes off the Dallas Cowboys a couple years ago. So just because you were great this year, it's about how can you consistently get better. And so that's why you just can't always use 1 year to the next because teams change, and the Bears are seeing that with their offensive line. They're going to be missing 2 of the 5 offensive linemen that they had from a very good offensive line to start next season.
Packers fans, who would you pick? Bears fans, who would you pick? Give us a call. Shoot us a text. Drop it in the YouTube chat. I want to see. And so, Strophy, what are you predicting? What percentage on each? What percentage of Bear fans would rather have Caleb? What percentage of Packers fans would rather have Jordan?
I think it's 100 and 100, to be honest with you. 95-95. Like, I think you are going to be confident in your guy. And to your earlier point, I think it's very neat from a rivalry perspective, my Packers bias excluded here, that this is legitimately the first time in my life both teams have felt this confident in their guy.
Right? Like, I don't think it's ever been, I mean, especially because the Packers just had such clearly better quarterbacks, right? And I don't know if there was ever some, Don Majkowski,
Jim Harbaugh, maybe.
I was gonna say Steve Walsh or Kramer, Tommy Kramer,
Tommy
Kramer when they had the 2,000-yard receivers that year. The Bears, that was the last time. God, who was that? Graham and who was the other 1,000-yard receiver?
Graham?
What?
No. Who are you talking about?
The Bears had 2,000-yard receivers
in the same season.
Yes, and that was a huge deal. I think I was
still didn't have a 4,000-yard passer.
Oh, this is also the 90s, I presume. There weren't really 4,000 yards passing.
Who, the Bears?
Yeah.
The Bears have never had a 4,000-yard pass.
That's what we're saying.
I just said that, Kyle.
Oh.
Yeah.
We had one in the 80s.
I think there was like maybe a small segment. The problem is even when they had their best quarterback year ever, which was probably Cutler, right, in the early 2010s, Rodgers at that point was just otherworldly. Correct. It was like Rodgers, Manning, Brady were sort of the elite of the elite there. So, yeah, it's also fun because they're young, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that if you do start putting the variables into it in terms of contract and age, I think that becomes a really difficult question as far as if you could invest in one right now, would you take Caleb at his age with
on the rookie contract
over the next 5 to 7 years, or are you taking Love hoping that 27 to 32 window when quarterbacks seem to be at their best, he continues to peak, as opposed to the fear that there might be a plateau?
So 1995, my sophomore year of college, my junior year of college, it was Jeff Graham, who lit it up for 1,300 yards, and Curtis Conway.
Curtis Conway.
With 1,037 yards. Two Bears.
No, I shook my head. No, I don't know about this.
So I think it was Kramer. But I don't know why. I'm like, that's like the name that's in my head.
Was he number 18 for the Bears too?
Let's see.
I feel like 18, 16. It was something like that.
I love this show.
All right, 95. The Bears went 9-7. Packers went 11-5 that year.
Yeah, they did.
Eric Kramer, is that? Maybe I'm totally off.
Tommy Kramer was a Vikings quarterback, right?
I couldn't tell you.
So we're just. Oh, it's Eric Kramer. Yep, he was 31 years old at the time. Eric Kramer went 9-7, started every game, threw for 3,838 yards, 29 touchdowns, only 10 picks. Like that in my lifetime.
Wow, he had a better season than Caleb Williams did this year.
That was the best Bears quarterback season that I remember in my lifetime. I obviously didn't remember it that well, but that was the season. All right, we'll check it out. We'll get the polls going. We'll see what you have to say. Strophe's saying 100% on each. I'm saying Bears fans will be 98%. And Packers fans will be about 82%.
These polls are so weird.
Just for the record, Curtis Conway never had a number in the teens.
No, I'm talking about Eric Kramer.
Oh, okay.
I think Curtis Conway, was he 80?
Yeah, he was 80.
Yeah. We were kids at that time.
I remember.
Oh, Curtis Conway, man. I did a great interview with him. First year of my show. I just moved to Wisconsin. I think he had even lost a child. It was super emotional. We did this amazing interview. And we had recorded it for our show at the time, our afternoon drive show. And I was just like 9 minutes into the interview. And I looked down and I realized I hadn't been recording any of it. And
there's too many stories like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I actually asked 2 or 3 more questions. I never even hit record. Like we were just in such a good rhythm. And it was just so sad. Like the Bears PR had actually given him to us. And we had this great interview. It was like one of those classic fails of early good karma. That's like what we were back then.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at us now.
Yeah, exactly.
We should track him down. You should redo the interview.
By the way, are we even on the air right now?
We are not, actually.
Yeah,
no.
I feel like we're doubtfully on the air right now. But we'll find out and get everyone's Caleb Jordan reaction. Wildy joins us at 10:30. So much more. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
This is Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. All day, every day, the Cardless talk and text line is open for you.
We're not trying to get from A to B. We're trying to get from A to SB, as in the Super Bowl.
800-990-3776. The Cardless talk and text line. This is more. Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just for you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Don't think twice. Call Geist.
Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geist today. For 70 years, Geist has been the trusted garage door authority in Wisconsin. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to get your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to GeistDoors.com. That's GEIS doors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield, featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geist.
It all started with a small storefront and a big promise. treat every customer just like family. For decades, local families have trusted Sendix to provide the freshest food, the warmest smiles, and a place where community comes first. From generation to generation, we have grown together. Because Sendix is more than just a grocery store. It's home. Thank you for allowing us to serve you for the past 100 years. Here's to the next 100 years. Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Want your brand to turn heads and win hearts?
Captivate Exhibits can bring your brand to life by transforming lobbies, creating history walls, and beautifying facilities.
For over 32 years, Captivate has been the MVP of trade show exhibits and workplace design and fabrication. Let Captivate craft immersive branded environments that tell your story boldly, beautifully, and with purpose at events and around the office.
Score big by making your next event or your own space unforgettable. Create something legendary by getting started today at CaptivateExhibits.com.
Come grow with us at Glenroy. For more than 6 decades, our family-owned company has built its reputation on quality, reliability, and providing strong career opportunities in our community. As the packaging industry rapidly grows, so does Glenroy. Here, you'll find competitive wages, a clean, modern workspace, fully vested 401k, yearly bonus award, and the chance to build a manufacturing career with purpose. Apply today at glenroy.com/careers. That's GLENROY.com/careers.
Did you know Professional Construction Inc. has an in-house team of interior designers? We're excited to bring our expertise to you with our brand new virtual interior design program. Maybe you're not ready for a full construction project, but you are ready to refresh that outdated room. Our PCI design team creates stunning photorealistic renderings, a mood board, and a curated shopping list, all delivered to you in just days.
For all your construction and design needs,
visit professionalconstructioninc.com.
Mark Tauscher here, and you know I love a smart play from the pocket. That's why I joined UW Credit Union. With their mobile banking app, I can make smart plays from anywhere. And with rewards checking perks like early payday, I score my money sooner. Stop by any of their local branches or visit uwcu.org to join and make the smart play by becoming a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
We don't just cover the green and gold. We cover the green and gold. Your home for Green Bay football talk on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app. You're listening to Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Yeah, I mean, if the Packers are re-signing guys for 3 years, $33 million, and you think I should talk about it, when Alec Pierce is worth $25 million a year, that is some breaking news that I did not realize.
Good for Romeo Dobbs, then.
If there was a way to wager on who'd be the best quarterback in the NFC North this year, I will say, if you gave me like 16-1 odds, maybe even 12-1 odds right now, I think I might take Kyler Murray.
Yep. I mean, I disagree, but
like I'm saying,
if
you gave me odds,
this is the problem, because I think both me and you last year heading into fantasy football had a Kyler Murray belief, and it was clearly wrong.
I did too.
And it's like one of those things that you just hold on to because you're like, wow, there's something there.
I still think there's something there for him. Man.
I think the Cardinals organization is so bad. I think their last 2 head coaches, no offense to the Packers, have not set up Kyler Murray to succeed. And I think when Kyler Murray's been good and when Kyler Murray had an actual A-list receiver to throw to, which he would have in Minnesota, he was a problem. Kyler over here. What do you think, Kyle? Because you used to be a huge Kyler believer, Kyle.
Yeah, he can't stay healthy, and I feel like issue with him. It isn't that he isn't talented. It's just in order to be a great NFL quarterback, you have to be dedicated to the craft. I don't think he's dedicated to the craft the level that he needs to be. Dude is like streaming and gaming during the season.
I'm with Kyle.
You can do that
on
all you can say, all you want to, but like I just feel like he hinders his own progress by not understanding the level of commitment you have to have.
Oh, like LeBron James, like when he does it, it's fine because you know he's putting in the work.
LeBron James is putting in, and
right.
He's working on his body.
Right.
Like,
we don't know if Kyler Murray is doing that also. Like he's been in such a bad culture.
So is everybody else's fault.
Put him in the quarterback factory that is Minnesota.
What former teammate or like reporter or anybody in the building has ever stood out there and been like, no, you guys don't understand. Kyler Murray is so all in.
Is him. Everyone.
But who was doing that with Daniel Jones? Who was doing that with Geno Smith back when he kind of got revived?
I mean, Sam Darnold just won a Super Bowl. Are you saying like 3 years ago, if we had said, hey, Sam Darnold, oh, yeah, that guy's going to go win 14 games back-to-back years and can win a Super Bowl?
Sam Darnold
I'm just saying,
the same level of opportunities that Kyler Murray has been the starter since basically day one.
So is Sam Darnold. So is Sam Darnold.
Darnold's talent, it wasn't what Kyler's talent was. Darnold had to kind of find his way. There wasn't stories out there that there's a commitment issue.
Correct. I agree.
He likes Call of Duty. That's true.
But Kyler Murray is available for a rookie minimum contract in a way that Sam Darnold, I guess maybe he was in
because he went to Carolina.
Yeah.
And then
but he still was on I think he was still getting paid again, I think there's a quarterback whisper in Minnesota, and I know he didn't do it, J.J. McCarthy. I'm just saying, I think the Vikings have a chance to be a problem this year if they have Kyler Murray and he's healthy.
I'll give you 12-1 odds that Kyler Murray's the best quarterback in the NFC North.
I would also give you 12-1 odds.
Okay. I'll throw $20 with each of you on it at 12-1. Okay.
I like Kyler Murray. I'm not saying he's not a good quarterback. I'm just saying for him to be the best quarterback in the division.
It sounded like you were saying he wasn't a good quarterback.
And by the way, Jordan Love is so good from a QBR standpoint. It's going to be very tough for Kyler Murray to beat him if we were using QBR. I don't know what we would count. Is it wins?
Is it wins?
No, it's not.
It
Can't be wins.
Can't be wins.
The best quarterback in the NFC North. We could come up with our own sort of ranking system. It can take into account QBR.
Eye test.
Your tradition.
Why don't we just give points per category that matter?
He's going to be the fourth best quarterback in the NFC North.
If he's even there. Now, the bet is void if he doesn't end up in the NFC North.
Of course.
Okay.
Well, no, I think he's a good quarterback, but Jared Goff is
he? Last year, the Cardinals chose to keep rolling with Jacoby Brissett over Kyler Murray.
Because they did.
And you can blame
everybody. It's better for their offensive system last year.
It was. Yeah,
it was a personnel issue.
I just say Kyler Murray, I mean, this might be me going too far. He just doesn't seem locked in. When I went to go see a preseason game, Kyler Murray came out. Kyler Murray came across, he's like my height. Huge calves, though. Huge calves. He came across and he was talking to some women that he knew who were on the sideline with us.
But when Matt Stafford talks to it, it's his daughters. No. But when Kyler Murray does it's just some women.
I'm just saying when you got what did Ludacris say? You got what in different area codes? Like it seems like
Are you accusing Kyler Murray of being a player? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I'm accusing Kyler Murray of just not being focused on football. That's all I'm saying. And I think the kid is very, very talented.
So now we're judging people's locked-in nature and preseason games. That's what we're doing now, Kyle.
Yes, I am. I'm just saying, I like Kyler. You know I'm a big Kyler fan. But
I know you were the biggest, man. I feel like you.
But all the not off-field stuff, like he's not a bad kid. He just, sometimes you just don't know how to want to be great.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just want to play ball and have fun, but you don't want to be great.
I think if he goes to Minnesota, it's going to be a turnaround of. Well, I guess one happens every year, but it'll be a big time turnaround. I'm Team Craig on this.
What a surprise! You're Team Craig.
Yeah. Jason Wilde is going to join us, and the Packers have made more meaningful moves before free agency has started than they have in the history of the organization. Jason is going to break these down, including the guy who led them in tackles 2 years ago, including major re-signings for over $30 million. And it's only a precursor for what is the most important offseason in the history of the Green Bay Packers. We will have Jason Wilde break it all down with us as we continue. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
You're listening to Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Gail?
When I retired, I just let all my taxes pile up. I had gotten many threatening letters. The one that said they were going to try and take my property was probably the scariest. When I found out that I owed close to $300,000, I was in total shock. It was a bad situation. I didn't know what to do.
Then Gail found tax relief advocates.
When TRA told me I was only going to owe $368, I just was in total disbelief.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Gail did and call TRA for a consultation.
I was so blessed with TRA.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-544-7357. 800-544-7357. That's 800-544-7357.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris talk to NBA content creator, Legend of Winning. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Tired of waking up exhausted? That dad bod weighing you down? Let's get you back to the old you. If your energy, focus, and drive aren't what they used to be, your hormones could be out of balance. At Mentality, we'll dig into what's really going on, then build a personalized, science-backed plan using hormone therapy and peptide treatments to get your brain and your body back on track. So stop telling yourself you're just getting older. Book your appointment now at lowtusa.com. Right now, all new patient labs are covered in your treatment plan. That's a savings of $250. Go to lowtusa.com.
Wisconsin homes ask a lot of their windows and doors. With our unpredictable weather, they need to perform in every season, year after year. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we build everything around quality, durability, and long-term comfort. And right now, we're making long-term comfort easier than ever. Order today and get 0% interest until 2032. Not just a few years, 0% interest all the way until 2032. That means you can upgrade your home now and pay over time without paying a dime in interest. From your free in-home consultation to expert installation, Pella's local team is with you every step of the way, helping you choose the right products for your home, your style, and your budget. And with our 10-year limited warranty, you can feel confident long after installation day. 0% interest until 2032. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 3/31/2026. The pursuit of fair wages and top-of-the-line benefits is achieved when the right union has your back. The Sheet Metal Workers Labor Union is extremely diverse, representing Wisconsinites working HVAC, architectural metals, welding, specialty fabrication, and much more. Make great living wages with outstanding benefits, pensions, and apprenticeship programs in trained, safe working environments. The Sheet Metal Workers Union is a leading force in the revitalization of the labor movement in Wisconsin.
At Big Fish Contracting, we want every home project to be a good story worth sharing. That's why we as a team aim to exceed your expectations. We can improve any aspect of your home. Everything from a complex remodel to the essential roof, gutters, siding, and windows. Integrity, humility, and kindness are why we've grown in southeastern Wisconsin for the last 2 decades. Visit BigFishContracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
Kyle Broston Nortman, KBN.
The results speak for themselves, and either you're going to jump on board or you're going to find out why they are who they are.
On 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. This is Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
I am really proud to be able to say that for the first time in the history of this show, I can say that someone will be joining us on the Yuengling hotline. Yuengling, the oldest brewery, and I grew up in New Jersey, and Yuengling was a big deal in Pennsylvania, like that you could get Yuengling. And it's amazing, as an entrepreneur and as someone who started a company to see that in this world of everything being consolidated and these mega companies that, a family owned and operated 6th generation, brewery like this can still exist. And so we are so proud to partner with Yuengling, who is now in Wisconsin, the oldest brewery in America, now officially in Wisconsin. DG Yuengling and Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly. Now in Wisconsin, you can get Yuengling beer. And now joining us on the Yuengling hotline is Jason Wilde. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning, everyone. How are you?
We are fantastic, Jason. There are major Packers seismic moves already happening. But before we get into those, I was talking about how this is the weirdest situation of my life where almost 100% of Bears fans want to go with their guy of Caleb Williams. And I would say around 85% of Packer fans, maybe 90%, would say for this year, we have the better quarterback in Jordan Love. What's your take on that? Do you agree? And as the objective observer that you are, for this season, who do you think is the better quarterback?
Probably Jordan Love, but not by a large margin by any means. Look, Caleb Williams made some magnificent plays down the stretch for the Bears, in particular against the Packers. He has the coach that's going to continue to build him up and get him to improve. But as I love to say, whether it's to Maddie and Sid or talking about young players in the NFL, growth is not linear. He's going to have some growing pains. He certainly had some during the course of this season. But the arrow is pointing decidedly up for Caleb Williams now. You just feel so much better about where he's headed if you're a Bears fan because he's got Ben Johnson as his coach, and you saw how his rookie season went. So I think the gap was closed. I don't think anybody would have even been having an argument about this a year ago at this time after the way his first season went with that coaching staff. But there's gonna be more bumps in the road. Jordan Love is proof of that. He experienced them too after a pretty darn good second half of his first season as a starter. So I have gotten my wish. I think they're both really good quarterbacks. I think the rivalry is as heated as it's been in a very, very, very long time. And I look forward to seeing if those two go back and forth on who's the better quarterback and who should be considered a better option for their team.
And I think, Jason, you've been talking about that storyline, but I think that fun is that both teams believe they have the guy. And when you have fan bases that are this close and feel that way, it's awesome. All right, talk about the moves the Packers have already made, whether they're official or not, and what it means for the team and whether you like the moves.
Yeah, well, first of all, I don't know about seismic. Bizarre, for sure, with the Rashawn Gary farewell, and then I was hacked, which, again, I'm not sure I buy that, but okay.
Wait, so just explain exactly what happened there.
So Rashawn Gary on Thursday or Friday posts a farewell message, which I have learned is very easy to do with AI, since some of our fans were nice enough to do one for me to prove their point. And then he deleted it, and then he claimed through his agents that he was hacked, which I'm fascinated because usually when somebody hacks you, I have some colleagues, including our buddy Rob Domofsky, who had his Twitter hacked. And it took him, with all of the powers of the ESPN IT folks, a week to get his account back. So I don't know quite how Rashawn got his back quickly enough to delete those posts from Instagram and Twitter. But
so multiple platforms and got access back on multiple platforms within
12 minutes.
Evidently,
within 12 minutes, Alex?
Yeah, 12 minutes.
Apparently. So So, look, I think he's...
Core values called into question for Rashawn Gary and his agent?
Again, I'm just going to... It doesn't matter what I believe. It only matters what I can prove. And I cannot prove that he was not hacked. So if he says that, that's what I'm going to tell you. That's what he said.
But there's another piece of this, Craig. Real quick, Jason, because, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, but Rashawn Gary is his agent's only client. Because Rashawn Gary founded his own sports agency called Rashawn Gary Sports.
Yep.
So Ian Clark, his agent, I believe his only client is Rashawn Gary. And his mom works for Rashawn Gary Sports. It's and it runs his social media, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Wait, so maybe his mom hacked him.
Could be.
Allegedly.
And then if he asked his mom and then got the password back, then that makes sense.
Definitely does.
Core values
back cement.
Yeah. Let's get rid of this Rashawn Gary slander that's been happening. Like, mom may have had differing opinions, and moms have. I talked to my mom this morning. We differed opinion on things. Let's be a little
with Mama Carmerzin.
Yeah, let's be a little more empathetic to Rashawn here.
Having met your mom and knowing how remarkable she is, I find it hard to believe that she would ever hack your socials. But be that as it may, I think he's still going to – his career in Green Bay is most likely over still. I don't think any of that changes.
Well, what are we waiting for, Jason?
Yeah, it's a good question, Kyle. And look, this contract that they just agreed to terms on with Sean Ryan, who's a remarkable story, and we can get further into him, but this is a guy where it just felt like they were constantly trying to get rid of him, and now he ends up getting this extension, and he's going to be their starting center next year. It's a pretty impressive story of perseverance on his part, but if they sign him to this 3-year, $33 million deal, I would assume the next shoe to drop will be releasing Elton Jenkins. But in order to be able to do other things in the market, including either signing your own guys or getting help from elsewhere, the Rashawn Gary can't be on this team at his $28 million cap number. And I still think the most likely scenario is that he's released, but I can't say for certain that will happen. But when he posts a farewell message, or someone does on his behalf, it's hard not to think that that's going to be the case. So that was what happened. Then they traded for Zaire Franklin, which is a move with the Colts. They sent Colby Wooden, who was actually a pretty darn good nose tackle for them this past season. And they were a pretty good run defense until they weren't against Baltimore. It's a player-for-player trade, but that's clearly because they do not expect Quay Walker to be re-signed. Quay Walker had an offer on the table in late September, early October from the Packers, a multi-year extension. He did not ever sign it. It appears he'll be going elsewhere. So that's why they go and get Franklin, who is completely, he's a successful player. He's a tackling machine. He's a former second-team All-Pro in 2024, but he's going to turn 30 in July. So makes me wonder if Goody has changed his approach a little bit. And then obviously the Sean Ryan news today. So that's kind of catching you up on what's happened thus far.
And Jason, I love that move. I love anytime the Packers get older. Like, we look at what happened last year.
30 minutes ago, where you're like, I don't even know who these guys are.
Now, once Jason
supposed to talk about it.
Yeah, once Jason told me, now I love that move. I was just talking this morning. I think one of the things that Matt LaFleur did not have last year was enough help. And when people think about what LaFleur is, the play caller and all that, and I think that means from a coaching standpoint and from a veteran leadership standpoint. I think the Packers were so young that their individual units didn't have the leadership to deal with adversity and to deal even sometimes with too much positive stuff happening. And you look at the games they lost last year, and I'm just not willing to put it all on the head coach. And I think there's something to the different rooms and the different positional units having mature leaders around them. So anytime I hear Jason say, hey, this guy's an established high-level performer in the league and they have some experience, I think that was the difference between the Packers winning and losing, 3 or 4 games, maybe including the last game of the season as the number Exhibit 1A, unless you want to take the last Bears regular season as Exhibit 1A.
No, I'm 1,000% Team Craig on this, and Strofe has heard me tell this story a bunch, but I am standing in the losing visitors' locker room at Soldier Field and talking to one of the most mature players on this team in Evan Williams, even though he's a second-year player. And to your point about Exhibit 1A, they both struggled to handle the success of getting a 21-3 lead and struggled to deal with the adversity of that evaporating. And I asked Evan if that's a sign that this team, while experienced young players, right? They got all these guys from that 2022 draft class have played a ton, but that they haven't been in enough of those moments, and they lack a maturity. And I said, look, if I am wrong, please tell me. I do not want to take an angle that is completely off base. And I respect the hell out of Evan. I think he's a really sharp guy. Many people have heard me compare him to Micah Hyde. And he's like, no, you hit the nail on the head. We are too immature. And so when someone like that, it's one thing, Craig, for you to say it or for me to say it, but for a guy like that, who I think is evolving into one of their young, really authentic leaders, says that, I think you can feel like you're on the right track with that opinion.
Talking with Jason Wilde on the Yingling hotline here on Sunday Karma. Were you surprised that for a player like that, because I always look at it, and yesterday we were at Bowling for Babies. Kyle got very excited about the trade immediately because he was a second-team All-Pro guy. And it was a little surprising, that the Colts would be in a spot where they want to give that guy up. Like, when you're assessing these trades, how do you, ultimately try to discern value? Because now the Packers are not only picking up a $7 million contract on him, but they're also giving up Colby Wooden, right? Who's a contributor on that defense.
And are we saying $7 million's a lot or a little?
I think for a guy in his 30s as a middle linebacker who had a regressive year last year, right? 24, he was all-time or the league-leading tackler. And then last year he was, I think, ranked in the 70s, 80s when it came to, him as a linebacker in the league.
But you're talking about 2% of your salary cap in a so it's about almost the average cost of a player against your salary cap. So I guess I'm just saying it's not like it's so much money.
But I'm saying to inherit that and give up a veteran, it's just interesting. And so I just am more curious, how do you assess that, knowing that we're really not going to know what works until we're halfway through this next season?
No, Greg, you make a great point. I mean, first of all, he did not play at the same level. And there were rumors about them trying to move him at the trade deadline. I think the Packers had an interest in him previously. But first of all, to your point about Colby Wooden, not only was Colby Wooden a pretty good nose tackle for them, they needed somebody to step up when they traded Kenny Clark, and he did. He was really well respected. I know they gave up 307 yards against Baltimore, but I went and looked it up. They were top 10 in run defense before that game and top 5 in run defense per play. So, and Colby Wooden was a huge part of that. On top of that, Colby Wooden would have cost them $1.14 million next year. He was an inexpensive piece, right? And a solid, if you're talking about return on investment for how much he costs, he's the kind of player that Goody loves. Young, productive, and inexpensive. So, and they don't have a whole lot of depth there. So not only did they acquire, look, there's 2 layers to this. One, the $7 million for Zaire Franklin is a lot less than what Quay Walker was going to cost on an extension. So, and maybe this is just a 1-year deal, right? I mean, it doesn't mean that they're going to keep Franklin for another year after this. We'll see how he plays. But the reality is that this could be a 1-year rental. And then once he's on the verge of turning 31, then he's too old for sure. And they move on. But, so the opportunity cost of not getting a deal done with Quay Walker, which, again, my understanding is that they wanted to keep him, and they just could not reach an accord on what he thinks he's worth versus what the Packers think he's worth. So then they go to plan B, kind of like they did with Aaron Jones, right? They wanted Aaron Jones to take a pay cut a couple of years ago. He's like, no, I'm not doing it. So they said, okay, fine. And they pivoted. They cut him, and they signed Josh Jacobs, who's been a pretty damn good signing. So we'll see how that part of it plays out. But they were already thin at defensive tackle, and now they're even thinner. And remember, they don't have a first-round pick, and all those compensatory picks that we're expecting them to get when most of these free agents leave, those don't kick in until a year from now. Like, they don't get those draft picks in this year's class. They get them in 2027. So they may get one, maybe two seventh-round picks compensatory-wise, but they're not going to have one of those, 12, 13-player draft classes unless they do a lot of trading back. Now, this is viewed as a good big guy draft for both offensive line and defensive line, so maybe they can replenish their defensive tackle depth in the draft. But they basically created an even greater problem in terms of their depth by trading.
Yeah, Jason. Are we forget? I mean, Micah Parsons is really good and tilts the field so much that, when he was there.
Yeah, but he doesn't play defensive tackle.
But when he's there, there's the attention shifts. Like, the defense was just so different. All right, we got to talk more about this with Jason Wilde as we continue. It is Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
This is Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Don't miss a moment of the basketball tournament action this March at 3rd Street Market Hall, home to your one-stop must-stop viewing destination. 3rd Street Market Hall has over 20 locally owned food vendors, a 30 self-serve beer wall, over 50 HD TVs, plus game day specials. The perfect place to work remotely or catch a game between meetings or over lunch. 3rd Street Market Hall is your downtown home for basketball this March.
2026 Brewers tickets are on sale now. This year, it all kicks off at our house with opening day at home, followed up with a schedule that's absolutely loaded. Throw in the same flair for the dramatic thrills on any given night. Plus Brewers giveaways you won't forget. And you've got a season you're going to have to see to believe. Don't miss a second of Brewers action this year. The crew is back for more. All Brewers tickets for the 2026 season are on sale now at Brewers.com.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Game Night, so for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
We have standards in Wisconsin. Cheese should squeak. Sports and tailgating go hand in hand with brats aplenty. And beef is a delicacy where each bite makes you close your eyes for a second. For 50 years, Bunzel's has been hand-selecting the finest beef, making homemade specialty sausages, and crafting award-winning jerky right here at home. Because Wisconsin is still cattle country, quality isn't optional. It's expected. And after 5 decades, Bunzel's still delivers. Stop in today at 90th and Burleigh or at bunzels.com.
Wisconsin, let's talk about something near and dear to my heart. Beer. Specifically, great beer. And if you haven't met Yuengling yet, allow me to introduce you. Yuengling is the oldest brewery in America, founded in Pottsville, PA in 1829. 197 years, 6 generations of family-owned brewing. Do you know how they became America's oldest brewery? By making great beer. This is a real American beer. Smooth, rich, and finally here in Wisconsin. So grab a Yuengling, raise a glass, and celebrate history the way it was meant to be celebrated. By drinking it. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America. DG Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
Looking up at the Marquette banners, brought to you by Saganiac Planning. Number 20, Maurice Lucas, retired in 2006. Lucas at Marquette only 2 years, but he was so good. 74 NCAA championship game against NC State, 40 minutes, 21 points, 13 rebounds. In the semi-win over Kansas, 18 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 blocks. Also, that game-winning shot in a win over Wisconsin that created the legendary post-game photo of the father of 2 Badger players very upset with Al McGuire. For your fellow fanatics and your number one fans, for your game day compatriots and your personal cheerleaders, for all the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. Support your overall health so you can be your best for those who matter to you most. Call Eric Pearson. Eric Pearson, Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
Buying or selling a home isn't just a transaction. It's one of life's biggest decisions.
That's why clarity, trust, and the right guidance matter, especially in the ever-changing market.
I'm Tony Wendorf with Tony Wendorf & Associates, powered by Keller Williams.
I'm John Lorenz.
And I'm Taylor Mangini. Our team delivers a white glove experience at every price point, combining expert negotiation, local insight, and genuine care.
Get started today with a team you can trust at wendorfteam.kw.com.
Tony Wendorf & Associates.
Driven by faith, gratitude, and results.
Hey, this is Tanas Santalucumpo. Download the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The brand new ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. Listening to Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Continuing on the Yingling hotline with Jason Wilde, who has compared Micah Parsons to a pretty much replacement level player, where I look at Micah Parsons as a Michael Jordan at his peak, field shifting, game changing athlete that has never existed in the NFL at his position and may not again if you look at the recruiting for the next 5 years, that you could see what he meant for the Packers. So I don't know how you could be worried about, we'll have a little bit of a worse nose tackle when you're getting a healthy Micah Parsons back who's going to shift the entire field every time he walks on it.
Yeah, seismic, some might say. Look, I think getting Micah Parsons back will be huge. He obviously is an elite player, and they never won another game after he got hurt.
And by the way, wow, that's amazing, Jason. And by the way, you look at the haul that the Raiders got for Max Crosby. I'll also argue that the Packers got a good deal on Micah Parsons.
Really?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with what they did. Somebody asked Goody at the scouting combine if now that he doesn't have a first-round pick, he regrets making that trade, and he could not have said no faster, and rightfully so. Look, I've been critical of him. I think he's gotten a pass because he got love rights. That if you look at his drafts, I know Strofe and I went through this on the last weekly episode of Weekly.
Kyle?
Oh, no.
Ruh-roh. So basically the Packers gave up 2 first-round picks and Kenny Clark to get back Micah Parsons.
Which, to me,
the Ravens
will prove to be a steal.
The Ravens gave up 2 firsts to get Max Crosby.
Yeah. And to me,
that's probably right. I don't feel better or worse.
But the Kenny Clark thing was a salary dump too, right? So just to
that's
make it
what
right.
I'm saying. Micah Parsons is so field shifting, and if everyone wants to criticize, wants to criticize Jerry Jones, the Cowboys had a regular season elite defense just by having Micah Parsons. They had cornerbacks leading the league in interceptions who can't get on the field anywhere else because Micah Parsons.
That was 1 year, and then the next 2 years they had a horrible defense, and in large part because the interior of the defense was bad.
It was so bad you could run all over
Which is
them.
what ultimately the Packers, I think, are at risk of doing. Now, I'm not taking anything away from the abilities of Micah Parsons. I don't disagree that he is probably, if not the top 3 defensive player in the league.
Right. And obviously
you're guaranteed to have a great defense because you have one of those.
I'm
players.
saying because of what Myles Garrett's doing, it would be disrespectful to call anyone the best defensive player in the league who's not named Myles Garrett. But I think it is very difficult to argue that anyone else is better than Micah Parsons, right? Like, that's how good he is.
Yes.
Absolutely. He's that big of a field tilter. But to Greg's point, I think you're on the right track, Scals. You need other pieces. And I worry about this Colby Wooden trade. I mean, I know he's not an every household name, but he started 16 games for them last year. Then the interior of their defensive line has nobody outside of Devontae Wyatt. So I'm just curious.
Right, but if you get an older guy who knows what he's doing at a middle linebacker position that's somewhat of a commodity, and if we think Quay Walker, what's Quay Walker going to get per year? If Alec Pierce is getting $25 million a year,
more than 7.
What's Quay Walker getting? 15?
Sean Ryan's getting 11.
I'm saying, is Quay Walker getting 15? Right? So, like, as we continue, Jason, what's Quay Walker going to get in free agency? What's the thought?
Yeah, probably about 15. I'm really irritated right now. I've been talking the entire time. I had no idea what the fuck.
We thought you
like I went through a whole thing. I referenced Strofe and how we talked about how Goody. Like, let me just try and recap briefly what I was saying to myself. Goody got the trade for Micah Parsons right. I have no problem with it at all. He got quarterback right, although maybe not as right as some people want to believe. He's got more to prove. Jordan Love does. But that doesn't mean you get to get all the other positions wrong, right? And so, and Strofe and I had talked about this in the last weekly episode of Weekly Wildy. Like, all of his free agent signings the last couple of years are caused by misses, high-profile misses with draft picks. And that includes, to some smaller degree, the Zaire Franklin trade, because Tyron Hopper's a third-round pick selected essentially to rise up and be a starter as they move on from Quay Walker. They don't have to make that trade if they're that confident in Tyron Hopper, which they clearly aren't. So he's got a lot of work to do. This is a huge offseason for Goody, even though he got Micah Parsons right and he got Jordan Love right.
As we approach free agency now, there's obviously another defensive tackle hold, which is what we were talking about while you were also talking, but we couldn't hear you. The Colby Wooden thing, it's fine. I'm fine with the trade, but you got to stock up the cupboard a little bit at defensive tackle. Offensive line, at least their top 5 seems like they have that flushed out. Cornerback is still a question mark. What do you view as the biggest necessity as we are just a couple days out from free agency opening?
Yeah, I still think there's something with Keyshawn Nixon and the way he views himself versus his contract. I don't know if there's an issue there or not. I could certainly see there being an issue there. So I would say corner as a result of that. But let's not – first of all, again, Craig is right. Micah Parsons is the greatest football player in the history of the world, or whatever hyperbole we want.
Best defensive player with the Packers since Reggie White. And more prime in his career than Reggie White was.
Yes, all those things. However, you better have somebody that can win opposite him, because Rashawn Gary, as we saw for 11 consecutive weeks, both before he got injured and then after Micah Parsons got injured, was not capable of doing that. So you need somebody that's going to do that. So whether that's LVN or someone else, but are they going to keep Kingsley Enagbare? I don't expect them to. I think he's going to get more money elsewhere. Are they going to keep Rashawn Gary and hope that it's going to work out with him? I don't think so. So that their defensive line, both at end and interior, is a concern. By the way, we don't even know what exactly they're going to run defensively, because we haven't talked to Jonathan Gannon yet. And Jonathan Gannon has run both a 3-4 and a 4-3. So that's also part of the equation right now.
Jason, you mentioned his name. Like, what is the feeling on LVN? Like, he was number 13 overall pick. Like, he was expected to be that next pass rusher. Inside of the building, like, you guys get to see practice. Like, what do people think of him and his ability to ascend to at least, contribute consistently?
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know how much injuries have factored in, right? You know, the 2024 season, he played with a broken thumb all year. They had to line him up at the same spot so he would be able to use his left hand more effectively, because it was his right hand that was damaged. And then last year he had the foot injury that kept him out for, 6 games? So that, I don't know where he's at. Like, he certainly is not the player that they were hoping he would be when they drafted him at 13 overall in 2023. They knew he had never started at Iowa, so they knew he was kind of like one of those NBA picks, right? Where you're kind of projecting, but they haven't gotten the payoff, and now they've got the fifth-year option decision to make in the next month or so. I don't see them picking up the fifth-year option for him. So he can be just like Quay Walker, plays out this season, and then you let somebody else pay him, and you move on. So
Jason, if I told you that he would have double-digit sacks this year, would that blow your mind, or would you say, hey, he's healthy, he's on the other side of Micah? Like, that is possible.
No, the latter. I would say it's possible. But again, you have to do it, right? I mean, Rashawn Gary had 4.5 sacks through 3 games. After the Pittsburgh game, when he got Rodgers twice, he had 7.5 sacks. And he never sacked the quarterback again.
I know. Someone made the bold statement on your show that the Packers were going to have 2 guys in double figures of sacks, and then you guys told me it wasn't bold enough, so then I had said 3 guys in double figures of sacks, and I was definitely at least looking good on my 2, and then Rashawn Gary decided not to sack anyone in the rest of the year.
Yeah, that is a great tradition, the Bold-a-thon. I'm not sure anyone was able to claim victory this year.
Oh, I think I'll have a good argument for it when we look back at it. So, but that's for another day. Quick on the Bold-a-thon. How about Kyler Murray could be the best quarterback in the NFC North this year in the Bold-a-thon? What do you think of that statement?
He's going to have some pretty good weapons at his disposal if he's in Minnesota, and he's got a pretty damn good coach that could be the perfect guy for him to be a successful reclamation project. I can say this. The guys that I'm friends with in Minnesota that cover the team think that he's potentially a really, really good fit. I am still a skeptic, but I hope it happens because it will make things really interesting.
Yeah, and again, let's not sleep on the Lions, right? They still were the team. This is going to be, what a great upcoming year this is going to be when you rerun the Packers-Bears thing again twice this year. With what we've been talking about the quarterbacks, you think about the Lions and their coach and, the whole easier schedule. Good point, Kyle. Those 3 coaches and the dynamics between those 3. And then you're like, oh, wait, but does Minnesota maybe have the best coach in the division? And could they be back in the mix? They had 14 wins 2 years ago.
Right.
This is, yeah. By the way, Quay Walker, my AI says ultimately he's going to be 3 years, $36 million. Jason? How big a deal do you think Quay Walker gets?
As a former first-round pick who came on the last 2 years in Jeff Hafley's system, I think he will probably do a little bit better than that in terms of his contract. Only because with his pedigree and with his athleticism, I think somebody's going to say we can make this guy so much more than what he was with the Packers.
So that's that. Yeah, Kyle, you're saying that makes him one of the highest paid linebackers, but the salary cap keeps going up. So if you look at it as a percentage of the cap, it's not that big a deal, and that's why, Greg, I'm saying to you, I'd get $7 million, but the replacement $7 million is going to look like a bargain, right? By the time all these new contracts,
and giving up another starter.
Yes, no,
that adds to the expense.
Totally fair point. I just think these salaries always end up looking better in retrospect in the NFL because the TV money keeps driving the salary cap up so aggressively that the numbers end up not being as big as you'd think going into it. Great stuff, as always, from Jason Wilde on the Yuengling Hotline, the oldest brewery in America, now officially in Wisconsin. You could actually, for the first time ever, get Yuengling in Wisconsin. DG Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Enjoy responsibly. Thanks so much, Jason.
All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
What a wild Packer offseason. The Rashawn Gary thing. Kyle, what's your take on this?
Can I give it on the other side?
Yeah. Okay. That was exactly what I wanted you to do. Yeah, we're going to hear Kyle's take on the Rashawn Gary situation as we continue on Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
This is Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Look,
Look, it's Jake from our store in Kenosha.
Hi, Monica. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Rick.
Your email said you had a big surprise.
Look and tell me what you see.
Wow, I see 9 perfect examples of the classic diamond solitaire engagement ring.
They're gorgeous.
These rings are exactly what people imagine when they hear the words engagement ring.
Monica, do you think it will always be like that?
Evermore.
That long?
And each of these is 3/4 of a carat.
$998.
Unbelievable. So how much do we sell them for?
That is how much we sell them for.
Can we do that?
We're the largest employee-owned jewelry company in America, Rick. We can do anything we want.
But for how long?
Evermore.
People can choose any of the 9 most popular style solitaires, 3/4 of a carat, and each of them was created in the heart of a miniature star.
5 different diamond shapes, 2 colors of gold. Evermore, just $998.
Or $1498 with 1 carat diamond center with diamonds on the side.
Learn more at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Screaming Sicilian, more is amore. Screaming Sicilian, more is amore. Amore, pepperoni, amore, mozzarella, amore. Screaming Sicilian, screaming Sicilian, more.
Screaming Sicilian frozen pizza. More toppings, more flavor. More is amore.
Tired of waking up exhausted? That dad bod weighing you down? Let's get you back to the old you. If your energy, focus, and drive aren't what they used to be, your hormones could be out of balance. At Mentality, we'll dig into what's really going on, then build a personalized, science-backed plan using hormone therapy and peptide treatments to get your brain and your body back on track. So stop telling yourself you're just getting older. Book your appointment now at lowtusa.com. Right now, all new patient labs are covered in your treatment plan. That's a savings of $250. Go to lowtusa.com.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman every day from 2 to 5. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
You're listening to Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Continue on Sunday Karma. Haven't talked about the big Bucks win over the Jazz last night at Fiserv Forum.
Nice game by Giannis.
Got a little scary for a second.
Giannis was dunking a lot last night. But Kyle, we were just asking. So, your thoughts on Rashawn Gary? Are you saying it's 100% he's done? And
first and foremost, I would love to say if anything like that ever happens to my page, do know I got hacked as well. That's my excuse. And secondly, he gone. He knows he's gone. Like everybody knows Rashawn Gary is gone. I don't know what happened. I feel like he might have went rogue to try to have to force his way out versus being traded. Because maybe if you get traded, then maybe you don't get to.
Or is it like, hey, I don't want to look like that clown and look like I got released, so I want to like lead the narrative?
No, I mean, I think he just didn't want to get traded. I think he just wanted to be released to have his own freedom to sign a new deal somewhere else.
It's a leverage
where he could potentially sign somewhere, get a 3-year deal worth $30-some million, and be, have more security in what he has with the Green Bay Packers or wherever he would have been traded.
We're talking about Quay Walker making $15+ million a year in the open market.
Ain't no way.
I think there's a way. He's going to be either the number 1 or number 2 paid linebacker this free agency sweep.
Wait, I have $20 bets on Kyler Murray. How about Kyle? Will you give me 3-1 odds? I'll give you 20 to make 60.
That Quay Walker makes $15 million or more.
Yeah, that he gets his contract averaged is 15. I'll pay you 20 if it turns out that he
like this.
Yeah,
let's do it.
3-1 odds. So that means I get 60 plus my 20 back. No, so that means it's just 60.
Wait. I give you 20, you give me 60. Wait.
No, other way around.
Why do you get the good odds?
3-1.
Because you're saying it's not possible, and it would be the.
No.
Okay, so you don't. So you do think it's possible?
No, I don't, because I thought this as well, but I believe the Green Bay Packers. The reason why they did not give him the 5th year qualifying offer, is simply because it would have paid him probably, $17 million or something like that. It would have paid him more than what the going rate was. And when you look at the going rate of these linebackers, I mean, you're talking about Franklin, who was an all-pro. He's only getting paid.
But obviously you're just throw around the all-pro thing like this guy is like Dick Buckus over here.
Well,
he had one good year where he tackled a lot of stuff.
Kyle, you're not. It should be $23. It should be $23 for you then.
It's very different.
Kyle, isn't it $23 for you if you know he's not getting $15 million a year?
I don't know what these teams are gonna do.
Exactly. That's my point.
If Quay Walker gets that amount of money, that would make him top 5, I believe, or top 6 inside linebacker, which is ridiculous.
In 2023, Roquan Smith signed a 5-year, $100 million contract.
Roquan Smith was
2 years ago.
Devondre Campbell got paid $11 million a year by the Packers.
Yeah, okay, but Devondre Campbell was coming off what type of season?
An all-pro season, but it was a one-off, which is exactly what I'm saying Zaire Franklin could be.
No, Zaire Franklin is not a one-off because Zaire Franklin actually put together multiple seasons of.
I love that he full names him every time. Zaire Franklin.
No, that is because who knows who he is? Like this just happened.
Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee,
which is the NFL's most prestigious honor, bigger than the MVP.
Patrick Queen is making $13.6 million on average per year. And he just signed that. Was that last offseason or two? That was last offseason, or was it?
I thought it was 2 years.
Regardless, do we want to talk about Rashawn Gary or Quay Walker?
You got. I don't know. You asking me or you asking?
I'm asking you.
Oh, I mean, we could talk. Let's
Are you
talk.
stuck on Quay Walker? Or you want to go back to Rashawn Gary?
We can talk about Rashawn Gary. And so Rashawn Gary.
But if he's gone, basically, so he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
He's gone.
They have to save money. They have to.
So the Packers' prerogative is.
So the Packers basically have to reinvent their entire defense around the image of what Michael Parsons and Xavier McKinney.
The guys underperform.
Yes.
Let's just be honest about Quay Walker and Rashawn Gary. Both of the guys. More so Rashawn Gary.
I think Rashawn definitely.
He underperformed. Quay Walker was good, but Quay Walker is not the type of guy you need as your inside linebacker. I think he's playing out of his position. He's not a true commander and leader of the defense that you need him to be. He's just a downhill player. He plays fast. He plays downhill. He's a great tackler. But the problem is that you need somebody who can really dictate point and get everybody else in line. He is just not that guy. I don't know what his IQ is for football, but it doesn't seem like it's where I would want it to be if I'm a defensive coordinator. So that's why I'm okay with moving on for Quay Walker. And anybody that pays him $15 million a year to be their starting inside linebacker is going to instantly regret it. Now, if you move him to the outside where he can just freely just play and ball and doesn't have to think, then cool. But for $15 million, he's not going to be worth that. And I'm happy the Packers are moving on for Quay and Rashawn Gary. I think it's addition by subtraction.
As we continue, we'll hit the talking text line, which is your carbless talking text line, 800-990. ESPN, it's 800-990-3776. We'll also check in on some of the thoughts when it comes to Jordan Love and Caleb Williams, because I've just never seen anything like it. Both fan bases are convinced that they have the better player. Both teams are so equal, as we saw through 180 minutes of play last year.
What did the YouTube poll say? I have not checked.
When I checked, it was at 100% on each.
Okay, I'm just seeing 74% for Packers fans on Love. So,
yeah, what'd you say?
74% now for Love on Packers fans.
No, but are any ones on Bears? Because there's 4 options.
So you have to do some math.
Yeah. So how many? So all right. So let's figure this out.
I see Packers fans say 18% for Jordan, Caleb Williams.
Okay, and 74 for Jordan.
There's not one Bears fan that has voted for
75 and 18, which equals what, 92, 93.
Yeah, but okay. So 75 and 18. It doesn't matter what it equals. It means 4 times.
That's 93, but then it says 8%. That's 101%.
No, but don't worry about that. There's rounding. So basically, about 4 times as many. So that's about 80% of Packer fans
somewhere.
No, so. Jordan, Strophe, 80%, that means about 80% of Packer fans would prefer Jordan Love to Caleb Williams, and 100% right now of Bear fans would prefer Caleb Williams to Jordan Love.
Why don't we create a mathematical analysis, and we'll come back from the break and tell you what it all means here on Sunday Karma.
We will do that. But first, who do we want to tell you about? Do we want to tell you about the WWE?
Oh, yeah, baby. Now, woo!
A limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing, son of a gun. Woo! He's coming to Milwaukee to hang out. That was a bad woo.
That was a bad woo. It was a bad. Ric Flair set up. It was a bad woo.
No, I thought the setup was good.
No, he didn't do the dramatic pauses. It's a wheeling, dealing, kiss stealing, jet flying, limousine riding.
I actually think his was better than what you just did. He just blew it on the woo.
Yeah, I blew it. Go for it. No, you guys go for it.
Woo!
March 27th at the Riverside Theater, Thanasis Antetokounmpo hosts Analysis Live with the WWE Hall of Famer and global icon himself. I believe he went to high school in Beaver Dam, right?
He did?
Yeah, Wayland Academy. That is big time. This isn't a cameo. This isn't 5 minutes with Ric Flair. This is a live, full interview. High energy, unfiltered, storytelling behind the scenes, things you've never heard that only Thanasis, as one of the elites in the game, can get out of a subject like Ric Flair. The energy, the laughs, all of it coming to the Riverside Theater, presented by Gruber Loftus and Potawatomi Casino Hotel. All you need to do is go to TALiveshow.com. TALiveshow.com. TALiveshow.com to get your tickets and woo! 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 More Sunday Karma as we continue. ESPN Wisconsin.
More Sunday Karma coming up on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
I had nightmares at my birth mom's house. It was really scary living there. There were always drugs in the house. The police came, and that's when I was placed into foster care.
Right now in the U.S., more than 100,000 children like Ariana are waiting for a family.
Once I was adopted, I definitely felt safe.
Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find permanent homes for children in foster care. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Hey Tom, I want a new hoop for the kids. Any ideas?
Yeah, I got mine from Precision Sports over 10 years ago. They helped me choose the right hoop, installed it, and even painted my court lines.
Nice. How do I reach them?
Easy. PrecisionSportsOnline.com for a free quote.
Wisconsin, let's keep this simple. If you've been patiently waiting for Yuengling to finally make its way here, thanks for hanging in there. If you believe a beer tastes even better after shoveling the driveway, mowing the lawn, or putting in an honest day's work, well, you're our kind of people. Wisconsin, it's finally here. Yuengling, oldest brewery in America, family owned and operated for 6 generations, and now officially in Wisconsin. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America. DG Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
Ben Brust here, and let's cut the crap. I've been sold a lie with sportswear, too. You pay a fortune for big-name gear, a fancy logo, a slogan, and it still stinks. Iron Jock doesn't play that game. Silver ion technology is woven into every thread, killing 99.9% of odor-causing bacteria. And now, through March 8th, our listeners can get 40% off all Iron Jock t-shirts and polos with the code SPRING40. That's code SPRING40. Shop now at ironjock.com. That's ironjoc.com.
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace. March is that time of year when a lot of us are thinking about fresh starts and maybe even getting a tax refund. And instead of spending that money on something temporary, what if you invested it in something that improves your home for decades? Universal Windows Direct makes that decision easy. Right now, when you buy 2 windows, you get 2 free, and there's no limit. The more you upgrade, the more you save. Plus, you'll get 24 months with no payments and no interest. Call 414-410-2000 or visit universalwindowsdirect.com to schedule your free estimate today.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at the Neal Group. If 2025 didn't go exactly as planned, you're not alone. You made it through, and that's what counts. Now it's time for taxes, and for a lot of people, that's when the stress kicks in, especially if things got messy along the way. The good news? A rough year doesn't mean a ruined future. We helped Nate fix a tax mess with the IRS created by one of those national firms and saved him $103,000 in penalties, plus another $150,000 in taxes, because we know the tax law. Imagine walking into tax season with a plan, clarity, and someone in your corner who knows the tax law and knows how to use it. You earned it, we help you keep it. Call us now at 414-325-2040 to arrange a meeting to see how we can help you. Don't wait, call now. That's 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net.
Station updates, show clips, and your place to interact with us every single day just by scrolling through your feed. Follow along on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at ESPN Milwaukee. Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just for you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Sunday Karma coming up on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Continuing on. Sunday Karma. Wait, so we mentioned earlier, Badgers, huge win. We ended up just talking about Marquette, and thanks to David Gruber checking in to let us know. Students on spring break, Marquette not storming the court, maybe a little correlation there. Good call on that, but the Badgers just feel like, and I still go back to last year, last year's team felt like a team that could have gone on a real run and just had a bad matchup, right, with BYU last year. Shout out to John Tanji. He played against the Bucks this week in the NBA.
Yep.
Like, how about that for a guy who was too old, was too everything, who just grinded it out and is playing in the league as a former Badger now?
Well, in long term, the way that this Badgers team is playing, the offense, the scoring, how fun it is, and the fact that you've turned a transfer like Tanji into an NBA guy, and now what Boyd is doing is Guard's creating the brand that he wants to create as far as come to Wisconsin. We're going to win. We're going to play high scoring basketball.
97 points.
And that's big because I think there was a real question, not for me, but from others 4 or 5 years ago that they're just so boring. And how is this team ever going to evolve in today's world? And that just shows how good of a coach he is, that he understands how he can win in different ways, but also how he can get these transfers to come in and ultimately his teams get better. We've seen it back-to-back years where the teams continue to get better in season, which is a really difficult thing to do.
Yeah, rock bottom in the Greg Gard tenure, I would say, was that first-round loss to James Madison a few years ago. And it was kind of a wake-up call of how do you adapt in this new age of college athletics. And he deserves all the credit in the world in the way he brought in Kirk Penny and revolutionized.
But no offense, dude, you're talking about rock bottom being in the tournament.
Yeah.
Right. I'm saying, think about where Badger football has gone. I'm saying we've taken for granted a 30-year unprecedented run in football and basketball that we then saw come to an end, in these last few years of the Lou Fickell era. So I'm saying that may be rock bottom, but again, that's still an impressive if that's your rock bottom.
And it might not actually be what rock bottom was because they were the NIT the year prior, right? And so maybe that's rock bottom. But there was a clear wake-up call of, hey, we need to adapt or we're going to die. And that's what happened with Paul Chryst. He wasn't able to adapt to the new era of college football. And
Paul Chryst didn't kill the program.
Well, I don't disagree with that, but that tenure needed to end, and it did, and unfortunately it just hasn't been revived since. Whereas Greg Gard's able to totally flip that thing on its head, change it to a high-scoring offense, points per possession, 97 points on the road at Mackey in a win last night. And guard dominant. I mean, when you've got two really good ball first guards in John Blackwell and Nick Boyd who can combine for 48 points at a ranked opponent, that tells you what they could be in March, which is a really good, really dangerous team.
You also watch them. I just think for a team, you don't think of it because they gave up 93 points. I think fundamentally, defensively, when they're locked in, they're really a sound team, and they can defensive rebound. This team just feels to me, again, and I said it last year, but this team feels like a team that could win 3 or 4 games in a row. They're not. There's no team who's going to come in and just have an easy, maybe a boozer, some of these elite NBA players could just athletically overwhelm this team, but they're so sound on both ends of the court.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're well poised to make a run. You never know what happens when you get into the tournament. Nolan Winter's got to get healthy, though. I mean, I think that will help fortify, and the defense started to get better with him. That's going to be important to get him back. But it's amazing to see what Gardo's done. It's awesome to see the excitement around the program. And just, again, you've got the tough part sometimes, though, is your star, Boyd, is now gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Last year you had Tanji, and then they're gone. You don't get to enjoy 2 or 3 years of guys anymore from just a pure fan standpoint where you're I want to see what this is.
Yes.
There's just this finality on every season now.
But there is a level of if the trade-off is they make their free throws, like they play the right way, it's exciting brand of basketball, I think Badger basketball fans will take winning in this scenario
of course.
More than like what we saw Shaka trying to build, right? Where it's like, hey, I have a culture, I have core values, I want to build a legitimate program where we have program guys, and there are some of those guys within this Badger program. I don't want to say it's all
Blackwell and Wintory, who you mentioned, right? These are guys that are homegrown, which is great. But
there's program guys, but like I think it's hard to. I don't think any of us argue with the way Gardo's doing it right now.
Like he's doing both. Like when you talk about that rock bottom period, the thing that almost gets brushed under the rug is like there was an all-out mutiny from that program that resulted in them parting ways with one of their revered stars.
That resulted Tucker tried to take over?
Yeah, and that resulted in leaked audio coming from private meetings inside of the locker room. And like Gard he didn't like panic. He just kept going. Like he was a bulldog and he's like, this is what's important. These are the people I trust. This is what we're going to put in place. And he built this again in a way that like has been even more sustainable and more impressive.
And that's what's so impressive about what they've been able to maintain since that point the last couple of years. And yeah, I mean, it's been a weird year, right? There's been some inconsistencies. There's been some weird losses, but there's also been several really big wins now on the road, which makes me think, all right, neutral site, if they're a 5 seed or a 6 seed, watch out for Bucky.
I mean, can we really, again, to me, the losses that they have are pretty excusable when you look at a team that's 14-6 in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Like and this is, I guess people are going to say the Big 12's a little better this year, right? Like top to bottom.
Yeah, Big 12's the best conference.
But 14-6 in this conference, like the teams who have a equal or better record than them in the conference are ranked in the country 3, 8, 9, and 11.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're the only teams ahead of them are ranked 3, 8, 9, and 11.
And they've beaten Purdue now, Michigan State, Michigan. Like they've come in and beaten some of the better teams in the country.
Right.
Yeah, they went on the road at Michigan, at Illinois, at Purdue, and they beat the brakes off Michigan State.
Right. So they've beaten everyone except Nebraska. Is that right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I
mean,
they lost in December to Nebraska.
Right. But I'm saying, like you just mentioned,
a different team.
Michigan, Illinois, Purdue. And they beat Indiana on the road. I don't care what the scoreboard says. If you watch that game, they won that game.
Yeah.
Huge game. I mean, that's the difference between being in second place and tied for third.
But a bad
that
loss
was
a week and a half ago at Oregon.
I hate to be Coach Norman Dale, but I could recognize a bandbox, whatever, referee in Indiana who literally took a game away from the Badgers on the road that was an absolute joke, where the Badgers outplayed them in that game, and the offensive foul. I don't mind the defensive foul at the end of that game, but the offensive foul was a joke. And, like you said, if they win that game, what are they, like tied for second in the conference in this mega conference where people are talking about the Badgers for the first half of the year as a fringe tournament team, right?
Yep.
And then you're like, wait, or is this a top 4 seed, right? Like, I mean, that is again, just Greg Gard doing it again and again and again. All right, we will. I want to hit on the Bucks and what we think happens the rest of the year. It is Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
You're listening to Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can choose the best coverage option for you. Because you know you. Like, you know that hiking isn't for you. Sure, it sounds nice to be in nature while exercising, but that's what a gym and houseplants are for. I mean, you don't even like walking upstairs. So why would you walk up a hill for miles? To what, end up high in the air? Come on, you know you're scared of heights. Only you know you. So get coverage options within your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot. All to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Only available with TurboTax experts. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
Look, it's Jake from our store in Kenosha.
Hi, Monica. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Rick. Your email said you had a big surprise. Look and tell me what you see.
Wow, I see 9 perfect examples of the classic diamond solitaire engagement ring.
They're gorgeous.
These rings are exactly what people imagine when they hear the words engagement ring.
Monica, do you think it will always be like that?
Evermore.
That long?
And each of these is 3/4 of a carat.
$998.
Unbelievable. So how much do we sell them for?
That is how much we sell them for. Can we do that?
We're the largest employee-owned jewelry company in America, Rick. We can do anything we want.
But for how long?
Evermore.
People can choose any of the 9 most popular style solitaires, 3/4 of a carat, and each of them was created in the heart of a miniature star.
5 different diamond shapes, 2 colors of gold. Evermore, just $998.
Or $1498 with 1 carat diamond center with diamonds on the side.
Learn more at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Make your next activation or event a slam dunk with Captivate Exhibits, your leader in transforming spaces and creating brand experiences that truly stand out and connect. If you can dream it, Captivate can design it, build it, and activate it. From trade shows and events to enhancing interior spaces like your lobby, history wall, or break room, Captivate Exhibits turns ideas into highlight reels. With over 32 years of award-winning experience, Captivate delivers every time, always beating the buzzer. Get started with your next big idea today at CaptivateExhibits.com.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
We have standards in Wisconsin. Cheese should squeak. Sports and tailgating go hand in hand with brats aplenty. And beef is a delicacy where each bite makes you close your eyes for a second. For 50 years, Bunzel's has been hand-selecting the finest beef, making homemade specialty sausages, and crafting award-winning jerky right here at home. Because Wisconsin is still cattle country, quality isn't optional. It's expected. And after 5 decades, Bunzel's still delivers. Stop in today at 90th and Burleigh or at bunzels.com.
Hey, it's Brian Balaga. Find the Homer Hour on the ESPN Wisconsin app today.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The brand new ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. You're listening to Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
All the old people at heart in Wisconsin were thinking of one thing yesterday, right? You know what that was, right? If you're old at heart, you could be 18, you could be 12, you could be 60. Like, wow, it's pretty much golfing weather. Like the courses are open. Like it's great. Right? I'm telling you, if you're young at heart, like me, what were you thinking yesterday? Oh, get out on the driveway, start shooting hoops. It's basketball weather. You could actually go out and shoot, and it's like, oh no, I haven't put up a hoop at the house for the kids yet. I haven't put up a hoop at the house for myself yet. Well, your problems are solved. Our friends at Precision Sports, they're incredible. I've used them multiple times. They're a local team right here in southeastern Wisconsin. They specialize in basketball hoops and even custom home courts. Like if you want to do lines on the driveway, you want to pick out the best equipment, you need to understand, hey, do I want it to lift and go down? Do I want what kind of breakaway rim? What's going to be good? If I want it to be portable? If I actually want to try to do something inside my house, like whatever it is, Precision Sports works with the best. They work with Mega Slam and Ironclad and Dominator. Like, so you're getting the best product, but you're also they'll customize and understand what you need for your situation. And they are awesome. They'll give you, free estimate on everything. I have worked with them multiple times, and they are fantastic. PrecisionSportsOnline.com. There is nothing more fun than shooting around with the family. My daughter was even talking about it last night. She's like, "Oh, Dad, in gym class, people were rage baiting me on the basketball court. I need to work on my game a little bit. I'm just a spot-up shooter, but I can't dribble and take the ball to the basket. I don't know what to do. I need to work on my game." We all need to work on our game, and the people to do it with are Precision Sports. Go to PrecisionSportsOnline.com, PrecisionSportsOnline.com, and your jumper will be as good as mine in no time. Oh, look at Kyle follow through on it. Kyle's going to be getting some shots off soon.
Yeah, okay.
Kyle looks like a football player on the basketball court. No offense.
100%. You know who I looked up to when I played basketball?
Who? Bill Laimbeer?
Dennis Rodman.
Okay, yeah.
That's who I played. That's who I mimicked my game after.
Dude, playing basketball against football players is hard, though.
It is.
I will say.
Aggressive.
Like you're like a power forward, but you're like 5'9". Like it's like frustrating.
No,
yeah,
we get physical. Like we like to get in the post, and we like to be a little bit too aggressive, out of control. People say,
Greg,
we just fly through.
Do you know what rage baiting is? You heard Craig say that when he was talking about Precision Sports. You mentioned Harper.
How old do you think I am? Yeah, I know what rage baiting is.
Well, he's got a kid in high school. You don't, so I don't know. I don't know if you're on.
It's also like not that hard to figure out. Like the idea of
rage baiting would be baiting rage. That's why I don't think it needs explanation. Maybe you've never heard the term before if you don't have teenagers in your life. But to me, rage baiting is kind of self-explanatory.
Like clickbaiting, it's a common thing that's used.
Yeah. So
I just don't know if you've ever heard it used in a sentence.
Something uncommon is the fact that the Bucks are not in the playoff race, right? Like Giannis talked about it this week when in Jabari's rookie year, like my first year of being a limited partner of the Bucks, Jason Kidd was coach of the year and like led us to an awesome year where we ended up 6th in the playoffs. We won 2 games against the Bulls, end up getting blown out in that game 6 at home. Giannis gets ejected, all that. But like, it has been a given that the Bucks are going to be like a top 4 team since then, right? I mean, and the disappointing first-round losses aside, this is a very different season than we've experienced, right? The Bucks sitting in 11th place, 8 games under 500, and 5 wins back from the Hornets, who don't seem ready to lose again. Because you could say, oh, Bucks are only 3 games behind the Hornets in the loss column, 4 games behind the Hawks. Just lost to the Hawks at home. What do we see for the Bucks this year? Is there a path to the postseason for this Bucks team?
I think it's gotten pretty muddy.
And by the way, when I say postseason, I'm saying a play-in postseason. I'm not even saying
seed,
let's just talk about can they be a play-in team?
Can it happen? Yes. They got the win last night. It's definitely possible. You have Giannis back, so you can win any game. I think the interesting conversation is really what vision are you trying to paint for Giannis to try to keep him? Because I think consensus is, and there might be some, dissenting opinion on it, but I think largely the consensus is you're better off if Giannis stays with the Bucks. Long-term, short-term, everything. So what vision do you want to paint for Giannis?
I was talking to someone yesterday, and they're like, yeah, like, saying we're going to rebuild and be the Thunder, like that's all good and well, but like there's teams that are 20 years into their rebuilding and haven't figured it out yet. So I think we all recognize that anything with Giannis is better than anything without Giannis. I look at it as the Bucks have a first-round pick this year.
Yep.
The Bucks own their first-round pick, and if we get lucky as lucky in the lottery, if this ends up as a lottery team, the Hawks get that pick. But then we have the Pelicans pick, which is still a really good pick. So in the bad scenario where this team isn't able to go on a miraculous run, there still is a lottery situation, which, for a team that hasn't had a lot of high picks, this is a unique situation.
In a good draft.
Yes.
Yeah.
In a draft that people think goes kind of 6, 7, 8 in that range pretty well. Now, for the Bucks too, so the 10th seeded team is 500, which is Charlotte.
Yep.
We know a lot of teams aren't necessarily trying that hard to win at the bottom, so there's a bunch of free wins. So kind of 42-40 is what I think you might need to get to the play-in.
Ain't having it.
So
That's
that
15
means
and 5.
the Bucks would have to go.
It's over.
15 and 5.
15 and 5
Craig,
the rest of the way.
It's over. I know we love our Bucks, but we know it's over.
Yeah, it's over.
This team hasn't been able to put on a stretch like that. I don't think at all.
We went 8-2.
Yeah,
8-2.
without Giannis. Like we went.
Yeah, so if we go 8-2 without Giannis, then 15 and 5 with Giannis.
What did Bobby Porter say? It was kind of fool's gold. And I think we're seeing fool's gold. This team has no chance because the Atlanta Hawks and the Charlotte Hornets right now are just a better team. Not saying they're more talented, but they're the better team. They're more consistent than the Milwaukee Bucks are currently right now. But matter of fact, I would say if you look at the last 20 games, the Hawks and the Hornets especially have been really good basketball teams. The Hornets have been one of the better teams in the NBA if you look at the last 15 to 20 games. And so the Milwaukee Bucks just have not been able to find that level of consistency that they need. They're not catching those two teams. It's just not going to happen. And it's okay. It's okay because, like you said, we have that first-round pick, and maybe we can convince Giannis to stay, and maybe we have this nice little window to rebuild. But I have to admit, Craig, I believe Giannis will be 32 next year in December. He's getting up there in age. We got to really think about what the future.
I disagree. He's such an athletic phenomenon that, like,
can I ask
his prime's got a few years left at least.
I know. I understand that. But one thing that concerns me is that these lower leg injuries that Giannis has had now, I think 3 of the last 4 seasons. That's concerning.
Sure.
That's very concerning for a guy that needs to be aggressive, needs to be able to his legs to be dominant. I'm a little concerned, and
but
I think even the Bucks.
Giannis is a game-time decision tonight, by the way, with a calf injury. Bucks play the Magic tonight at Fiserv Forum.
Yeah, I think if you really want to paint the picture of the miraculous run, it's the fact that you do play the Hawks again. It's the fact that you do have a lot of tanking teams that you are playing that aren't motivated to win. And if this team does figure out how to pair Giannis up with these young athletic guards.
Excuse me, were the Bulls motivated to win?
Were the Bulls motivated to win?
We were up by like 20.
No, I know, but like last night, the Pistons lost to the Nets. Like that, those are going to happen. They just can't happen again the rest of the way. Yes, they cannot happen the rest of the way. And this team has not shown an ability to be that consistent. So it would be out of character. The final quarter of the season would be showing a different team than we saw in the first 3 quarters of the season.
And is that a better picture to paint and a better vision to paint for Giannis for next year to say, look, we've got these pieces now, you've got a young core, and we were able to make a run and get to that 10 seed and maybe something happens? Or is it a better vision to paint for him? Hey, look, we have these pieces, but now we also have the 7th pick in the draft, and we're able to add somebody who, could develop into something real special over the next, 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, and
then there's a coaching conversation as far as Doc and what that vision is long term.
If he retires, if he doesn't, if he's fired, all options are on the table there. But with Stephen A. Smith's, I don't want to call it report, but his comment this week about Doc Rivers retiring, maybe there's something there where you can, again, have him in conversation with who's next. I think as long as you're letting him play and giving him the idea that you can win, I think he's happy now. And then you have to get to the offseason, and you have to find a way to convince him that this offseason we're going to go under some sort of reconstruction that allows us to be right back in the
We have seen this organization do things that you didn't think were possible.
Totally.
Right? We didn't think Dame Lillard was possible. Totally. It didn't work out the way you hoped. You didn't think the Bucks were going to get the number 1 free agent acquisition of this offseason, Miles Turner. None of us thought that was possible. This organization has shown to be so creative and willing to do anything it takes to try to put it in position to win. It hasn't always worked out, but it did once. And, like, the fact that it did once is why you do stuff like this, because it's so hard to win a championship. It hadn't happened in 50 years, and it doesn't happen for most franchises, like, ever. So the fact that this all worked out once shows that this organization, with Giannis as the best player, is capable of doing it, which most teams can't say, right? Most teams can't say, like, hey, we know we could win a championship we have a good enough player that's proven you can win a championship with this as your best player. So Bucks have something that most teams don't. All right. We will tell you that one thing that happened last night, it was pretty amazing that the Bucks did for those in attendance. It was pretty amazing. They had all these phones ringing and like, hello, it was like all these movie quotes, and it led into the T-shirt toss with David Gruber, who was there throwing the T-shirts. That's literally the difference between Gruber Law Offices and just about anyone else. Gruber Law Offices has built into one of the most meaningful brands in this community, a face that's trusted, that everybody knows, that is beloved. But culturally, he's also there throwing the T-shirts himself. He is in this community. It's not some marketing thing. One call, that's all, actually means something. It means you're in a position you never wanted to be in your life, and you have a team of people who will take care of you. It doesn't end there. It's not a quick solution always, but you have a team who has helped tens of thousands over the last 30-plus years, hundreds of millions of dollars of settlement, and you don't pay them unless you win. So if you or a loved one is ever injured, remember, it's one call, that's all, with Gruber Law Offices. We have our Palermo's Picks coming up next. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
You're listening to Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
I would just say that right now I think all options are on the table. I think that they went through that trade thing and they talked to teams, and it's not like those talks are shut down.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino, Tony Wendorf and Associates, and Smart 18 Union on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Tired of waking up exhausted? That dad bod weighing you down? Let's get you back to the old you. If your energy, focus, and drive aren't what they used to be, your hormones could be out of balance. At Mentality, we'll dig into what's really going on, then build a personalized, science-backed plan using hormone therapy and peptide treatments to get your brain and your body back on track. So stop telling yourself you're just getting older. Book your appointment now at lowtusa.com. Right now, all new patient labs are covered in your treatment plan. That's a savings of $250. Go to lowtusa.com.
At Citizens Bank, we believe banking is more than transactions. It's about being recognized and remembered. It's feeling like you're understood and supported along the way. It's the small stuff that says, we know you. Because when your bank gets you, banking just feels better. Citizens Bank. Bank where you belong. Learn more at citizensbankwi.bank/belong. Citizens Bank is member FDIC.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
Spring is here, and living with your old, drafty, foggy, dirty, hard-to-open, bad windows is no longer an option. You deserve better windows and doors. At Siding Unlimited, we install top-of-the-line wood, vinyl, and fiberglass windows with options to fit your style, color, and design choices. Built for energy efficiency, installed by our professional craftsmen at Siding Unlimited. Siding Unlimited. Experience, integrity, craftsmanship. Visit sidingunlimited.com today.
Well, March hoops are here, and it is one of the best times of the year to be watching sports. And right now, download the Prize Picks app. Use code WI. You get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Again, code WI, and suddenly every dunk, every three, every big performance matters even more. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If your picks are right, you cash in. You can build lineups across basketball, hockey, baseball, college hoops, whatever you're watching. I like the flexibility, too. With Flex Play, you can still get paid even if one pick misses. Want a bigger payout? Go Power Play. And with early payouts, if your player gets off to a hot start, you can cash out before the game ends. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Start your Milwaukee weight loss program now to lose weight
fast. Many lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two. Call for your free consultation. 262-235-3980. 262-235-3980 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Results may vary. See the best of ESPN Milwaukee by subscribing to our YouTube channel.
What the hell happened to your hair?
What do you mean?
Yeah, the front is fine, but you look like Lloyd Christmas in the back. Right there, just stay still. Oh my God, YouTube.
ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. It's that time.
Yes, it's finally here.
Craig makes his picks of the week.
You can bet the house on it.
Picks of the week on Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin. Presented by Palermo's Pizza, Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
Can't wait to see what happens next.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Oh, what a day this will be for some pizza. Yeah, that's what Sundays are all about. You know that. Sundays are pizza day at our house. And actually, the last days are coming up to get your great deals on $4.99 Screamin' Sicilians at Piggly Wiggly. Palermo's Pizza. So many different great brands, and so awesome to have a company like Palermo's in Wisconsin creating jobs and creating delicious, affordable meals for families. If you want that big, bold flavor, $4.99 right now. Lots of toppings, whole milk mozzarella, that over-the-top Screamin' Sicilian pizza. You know we love it. We love the Bessie's Revenge at our house. Right now, March 4th through March 10th, at Piggly Wiggly, $4.99 while supplies last. It is time for our Palermo's picks. You had one yesterday?
I sure did. I had the, I forgot the name of it, Mambo Italiano.
Yeah.
And then I bought me also the barbecue chicken thin crisp.
Oh, the thin and crispy?
Yeah.
That's your favorite. You love that.
Yeah, I put that one in the freezer, but I still got a couple pieces left.
Dude, the thin and crispies are actually coming to Festival Foods March 10th and 11th for $4.99.
Look at that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they're always looking at the deals. They're looking out for people at Palermo's. We love them.
$4.99 is a steal.
Dude, for a pizza. Like now, $4.99 is like for like, I don't even know what you can get for $4.99. Like a bite of right. One wing, one chicken wing for $4.99. One
You're
rib.
Lucky. If you're lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Palermo's pick time. I'm going to, you guys all know better than me. Palermo's pick. Packers free agency period. What do you want to see happen? Trophy, go.
An upgraded corner. It doesn't need to be a bona fide starter, but you need at least a depth piece. And maybe somebody that can develop into a number one guy. Defensive tackle is a position that worries me. Again, it's more depth than it is a top line starter. So I don't think they're going to spend I think they're going to spend money, but I don't think it's going to be huge names, which I'm fine with. I think depth is an important piece to this Packers puzzle as the offseason rolls on. So I would say corner and defensive tackle are the two positions I'm keeping my eye on.
And do we really not care that like Elton Jenkins is getting released? Like that was a quick fall from grace.
You saved so much money by releasing him though, and they need to be cap compliant. So I get it.
Kyle, what you got?
Yeah, for me, I like the corner position, but that probably means they're going to make a run in the draft. I'm looking at a pass rush, somebody on the defensive end side to be able to get to after the quarterback.
What do you mean they have LVN?
I said what I said. And the fact that when you asked Jason about LVN, I'm like, what do you mean? Like, you wouldn't be shocked. We would all be shocked if LVN got double digits.
He wasn't. He said he wasn't shocked if it happened, Scouts.
He's being nice.
Just big boys. Build
Trenches.
up the lines.
Trenches.
Just build up the lines. It's how you win in today's world. In college football and the NFL, let's come back to it.
Kyler Murray, that to me is just so interesting. Like it's like having those quarterbacks on rookie contracts and cheap contracts. The Vikings could have a starting quarterback on a $1 million like type contract. What that allows you to do, if he's just an average NFL quarterback and can be healthy at $1 million, I think this division is going to be so interesting and exciting this year. Last year was insane how good an NFL season it was, and if Micah doesn't get hurt, like we still don't know if any of the way the year played out would have been. If Tucker Kraft didn't get hurt, like this is going to be a great NFL season coming up. Big thanks to everybody for being a part of it today. Stay healthy, stay together, survive today, thrive tomorrow, don't settle. You have been listening to Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin. Kyler, send us out.
Peace.
This is ESPN Wisconsin and ESPNWisconsin.com.
Look, it's Jake from our store in Kenosha.
Hi, Monica. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Rick.
Your email said you had a big surprise.
Look and tell me what you see.
Wow, I see 9